introduction, take one, marker, clap, whatever that means. All right, friends, you know them as appetizers at restaurants, but today you're gonna make them at home. We're making mussels, French style, which basically just means lots of butter and lots of wine. Here we go. All right, now let's talk about mussels, shall we? Some of them, when you get them, they may be open, like this guy. Now what you wanna do is give it a little tap on the counter. And if it closes up, it's good. This one did not close up. If you try and squeeze it a little bit, that should close it up too. Oh, there we go. Now we're good. Now see how it's sealed up a little bit? This guy's gonna be okay. If that doesn't happen, throw it in the garbage. Now, when you're storing these mussels, keep them in the fridge in a colander like this inside of a bowl. That way they won't soak too much in their own liquid and that could cause them to die. Don't put them in a Ziploc bag because they need to breathe. That will kill them, and you don't want to eat dead mussels. Not good for your body. All right, now what you want to do is take your mussels and see if there's any beard, is what they call it, on them, which is basically the leftover rope from which they grow on. And just rinse these guys under cold water, shuck them a bit with a knife if you need to get some extra beard off, and then just toss them and set them aside for later. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and chop up a large shallot and 4 cloves of garlic. Now a little bit of lemon. Just gonna cut this guy in half and get a couple slices here. Finally, let's get some parsley going. Just shave it down like this. Okay, now that we've got our mise en place, which basically just is French for our shit's ready to go, we're gonna start throwing things in the pot. So I've got this guy at about a medium heat, and we're just gonna go ahead and chuck in a good glug, a couple tablespoons of olive oil, I'd say. Okay, our oil is heated up a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and throw in our garlic and shallot. That's the sound you wanna hear, by the way. If you've ever cooked anything, you know how good oil, garlic, and shallots or onions smell. And we don't want to burn the garlic, so you got to be careful here. All right, it's been a couple minutes. We're gonna toss in the mussels. Oh, that clacking is so satisfying. Yeah. All right, we're gonna throw in a couple lemon slices and the juice from half of a lemon. And then 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter in. And we're just gonna wait until that butter is melted down almost all the way, and then we'll throw in the wine and the heavy cream, cover it, steam these guys for about 5 to 8 minutes, and they're gonna be delicious. Our butter is mostly melted. We're gonna throw in a cup of a dry white wine. I've got a nice Pinot Grigio here. This was, I think, $6. Okay, in. Splash. Get that going. We'll throw in our heavy cream, half of a cup. Oh yeah. Now we don't want to boil this. We're steaming these mussels. If they boil, it's no good. They're gonna turn rubbery if you go too hot. So keep it in nice. Wait till this gets simmering and then throw the top on. A nice simmer. You don't wanna boil your mussels. I know I've said this before, but you don't need like a Dutch oven to make anything that I do. Anything that can be done in this big Dutch oven can be done in a regular sauce pot, like this. Just a regular old pot. The heavier the bottom on these things, the better they usually are for cooking because it just distributes the heat more evenly. If you use something thin, like a really cheap pan, it's probably gonna have a thin bottom and it's gonna burn your food really easily. So use the thick boy, okay? We bubbling now. You gotta be delicate with these guys. You don't wanna, some of them are starting to open, and if you go too crazy, the mussels will fall out and you gotta fish them out of the sauce later, which isn't the end of the world, but just be nice, you know? Treat them nice. All right, we're gonna go ahead and throw in our parsley now that it's starting to steam a little bit. That's about a half a cup. Cooking is about feeling, okay? You don't need a measurement for everything you do. Give these guys a mix. I do put the measurements in the description of these videos though, by the way, just heads up. All right, they're steaming. We're gonna throw the lid on. Now while these guys are in here steaming, we're gonna prepare the most important part of this dish, which is some crunchy bread to suck up all of that delicious juice in when you're done with the mussels. This, some would say, is better than the mussels themselves. I got this loaf of sourdough bread cooked at Roberta's, which is a pizza place here in Brooklyn, but any like crusty kind of bread will do. I'm gonna slice off a few big pieces here and throw them in a cast iron skillet with a little bit of olive oil and butter and just get them nice and crunchy. Now I'm just gonna throw a little olive oil in the pan back here and take these delicious pieces of sourdough and get them nice and covered, press down on them. Yeah, and we're gonna throw a little bit of butter in there too. Okay, we've been cooking these for about 5 minutes so far. We're gonna take a look, see what's going on. Ooh, yes. Now, if you look closely, seems like they're all open. So these guys are done. We're gonna kill the heat. Okay, these guys are done. I'm gonna go ahead and serve them in this pot. This is 2 pounds of mussels. This is good for 2 people. It's about a pound a person usually. We'll get the mussels first. I'm gonna bring this camera a little closer so you can see what's going on here. Okay, now I put some in a bowl just to take some photos for, you know, the Instagram. Follow at Best Cooking Show Ever on Instagram. But now it's time to taste these guys. They look ridiculous. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab one. Now, I don't use a fork when I'm eating mussels. Usually, the first one, I just grab it. I mean, butter, shallots, garlic, wine. You could probably cook anything in this sauce and it's gonna be good, but wow, those are incredible. When I was in college, I did a study abroad in France and lived with this like 1 million-year-old French woman, and we could not speak the same language or talk to each other at all, but she did teach me to eat mussels like this. You use your first one, you grab the second one. It's like chopsticks. French chopsticks. All right, well, I hope you're not scared of mussels. I hope you go and cook these at home. This bag of 2-pound mussels was $6, and the rest is like butter and things you could find anywhere. So go out, cook some mussels, and enjoy.